Hey! Welcome to Heavenly Homestead. My name's Ken, and today I'm going to be doing another garden tour. This will be number 10. So let's roll. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to start out with the pears. I started picking them earlier this morning. I was like, well, I better show them how to do this. Okay, so how do you know when a pear is ready to be picked? Well, the pear tells you. So if you can lift the pear up to the horizontal and it doesn't come off, that means it's not ready to pick. If you raise it to the horizontal and it comes off, see, that was not ready. If there's any, some more on here, I'll show you on the other tree if there's not any on this one. Try these up here. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Nope. Nope. Alright, so none of those are ready. So I picked all the ones off of this tree. Let me go over to the other tree and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's try this limb. Alright, so start lifting, see how it came off? Alright, so if it's not ready, it's not going to come off yet. It's going to, ow, damn it, fire ants. It's going to stay on. Oh, that one came off too. And this limb's in the way, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. That one come off. So if you can take them and move them up to 90 degrees and they come off, that means that they're ready to go. Look at that. I have a bunch of pears. Now you can't eat these straight away. You have to let pears set. You always want to pick pears when they are early. You don't want to pick pears when they are ready, ripe on the tree. You want to pick them when they're ready to harvest beforehand, because you have to let pears cure. Let me move you over here so you can see a little bit better. Now, you got to let them cure inside the house. Not cure, but they're going to ripen. And you need to let them ripen inside the house. You need to keep it about, or anywhere where it's about between 65 and 72 degrees, which is usually what most people keep their houses at. Or you can put them in a paper bag and it'll speed it up slightly. You maybe get it early, or maybe a couple of days early. But you want to let these go for about a week. So when you buy those ones at the grocery store, think about that. So if they're not ready for a week, how long do you think they've been sitting around to be as ripe as they are when you get them at the grocery store? It's a little fun thought for today. All right, let me get these all finished harvesting these guys, and then we'll get back with you on the tour. These pears are called kefir pears. It's a variety of pear. I've never grown them before. I got these trees this year. I got them actually this fall at a nursery that's just down the road. Sweating already. And the owner said that these were very good producers, and you can see first year in the ground they put out a lot of pears. But he didn't really tell me much about the pear, and I did some research on it, and the pictures and what people talk about is they are this color here. Let me get one here and show you up close. All right, so it's got this little rose type color on one side and it's green on the other. So it's not going to completely turn all the way red or brown like the Bosch do, or stay completely green like the Danube do. But this is a ripe or a ready to pick Kiefer pear. Well, there we go. So I got the pears all picked, and got a, oh no, basket too, not even heavy and sturdy enough to even hold up. It broke on me. Gee whiz. Anyway, I got a huge basket of pears. This thing is completely full. So full it broke the handle. All right, so let me get these put inside, and then I'll take you on around the rest of the homestead and show you I didn't show you the front last time, so I'll start here. All right, let's roll. I hadn't shot one this early in the morning, so this is the first time I've gotten out here early in the morning. This is supposed to be a hot one today. So, all right, so these are azaleas. This one right here, it produced flowers one time, and now it's died back, and I'm probably gonna end up cutting this guy out and putting a new one in its place. My rhododendron never did bloom, and I've got some morning glories coming up through them, but the bugs have attacked the leaves. I can see there's a lot of bug attack. I've seen a lot more Japanese beetles this year than I did last year, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. There's another azalea right here. I got to get up here and pull some more grass out. We put some mulch in the beds in here. There's some hardwood mulch, hoping that it would keep the grass suppressed. No bueno, did not work. So we got to try something else. I've got a cheap black cloth underneath here. I probably need to just pull all this out and put some DeWitt's cloth down, and then put the mulch back on top of it. The problem is I've got this creeping phlox here, and that's going to be hard to get around because it's already starting to spread, which is what I got it for. I wanted it to be a ground cover, so I was hoping by now, it's been in here for about 3 years, I was hoping by now it would be spread across the whole thing and there would be no grass. That was the plan, but you know how plans go. They don't always work out. All right, this is another azalea. This one and that one are the same variety, they're different colors though. I think this one, if I remember right, this one here is a pink one. This one's going to be a red one. And then that one over there is also going to be a pink one as well. This one is red, and that one is red. Oh, I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong scoop. These are white. This one's white. Now I remember. That's a white one. This is a white one. That's red. This one's red. That one over there is another white one. This one's pink. And then I've got a pink, a red, and a pink and a red over there. Then this rhododendron, it did its flowers, and now it's starting to die back. I guess the summer heat's finally getting to it. This is my Japanese cherry. It's just a flowering tree. It'll flower in the fall. And I had to do some trimming on it because I had this limb up here, right here, that had started to die. So I cut it at a 45, and now the other limbs can grow from it. But you can see the leaves here. The Japanese beetles have just beat this thing to death too. So I tried diatomaceous earth. I didn't put any neem oil on it because I wasn't sure how the leaves would react to it. I haven't put neem oil on a tree before, so I wasn't sure. So if you have any advice on that, let me know. Put it in the comments, please. The hibiscus is looking awesome. It had actually some big giant flowers on it the other day. I was hoping they were still here, but they have petered out, looks like. And I almost stepped on it. That's my hydrangea I put in. That's going to be a blue hydrangea. So that's going to be beautiful next spring when it blooms. My blueberry that I thought was toast, I cut back, and now it's got new growth on it. So I remember I told you last time I was going to talk to you about the front and about blueberries. All right, so blueberries are similar in nature to blackberries in that they get old canes on them, and they need to be trimmed. So if you want your blueberries to grow tall, you need to trim your blueberries. I know it's kind of scary to do it, but if you trim them, you can actually train them to grow in a particular manner. You know, instead of like all mine are kind of laying over, if I trim them, I can cause them to go straight up. And that's what I'm looking for, because when they lay over, it doesn't make a good symmetry in the front up here. And I'm trying to get a good symmetry up here. I've got 7, 8 blueberries up here, and I thought about maybe putting another one, but with the symmetry, I don't want to do it because it might just be a little bit too much. All right, here's my lamb's ear. It's growing pretty awesome. This was I got these at I think I got them at Home Depot. You know, I got 2 of them, got one on each side of these. These things are awesome. We made a little joke about it that we were going to use these as toilet paper when the toilet paper shortage was there. So we were talking about that. I'd seen a video of a guy did 10 different plants that you could use for toilet paper, and this was one of them. So I thought it was kind of funny. But they are nice. They got nice furry leaves on them. Really soft. They actually feel like a lamb's ear. My tomatoes in the front here, I'm just kind of letting them do their own thing. I'm letting them go wild. I had some room up here to let them do it. This one I put on a stick. This one I just kind of letting it lean over and go up. And this one right here did exactly what I was hoping it would do. It went out of the box, went down, hit the ground, rerooted, and then started to climb back up again. So that's awesome. Awesome to see. This is a good place to do experiments where you don't really have a need for food, but you want to try and experiment and see how things grow. A little open space like this is perfect. You can see I've got some blueberries on this bush. This guy is still producing. The other ones, they produced early and they're done already. But these right here are, these 2 right here are the same variety. They're called a climax blueberry, and they are prolific berry makers. I mean, they make a ton of berries compared to the other ones. So I'm thinking if I get any more, I'm going to get some more of these because they make a bunch of berries. All right, so let's cruise on around here. Oop, bumped you. All right, this is my yellow delicious apple, and it's looking very healthy. And I'm looking forward to seeing it produce some apples in the next 2 or 3 years. I'm not going to try and make it any apples next year. If it has any blooms, I'm going to pick them all off because I want the tree to grow and get some strong limbs on it. So I don't want to see the same thing happen that happened to my pear trees, where it got out of hand and the limbs almost broke because the fruit was so heavy. Right down here, this is my Fuji. Yep, Fuji apple. Yep, this is a Fuji apple. And it's looking healthy as well. Same thing with this one. This one and my Granny Smith apple there, I'm just going to let them do their thing for a complete season with no fruit, and then I'll let it fruit out the year after that. So I won't get fruit until 2022. That's if Jesus don't come back first. And then that's a plum tree over here, one of my plums. And it's a nice looking tree. I thought I was going to lose it at first. These leaves started looking kind of raggedy, and you can see the Japanese beetles got on this one too. But it bounced back, and I got to do some trimming in here to try and get these limbs to act naturally. Now this one can produce fruit next year because it doesn't produce real big plums, so it can handle the weight. And this doggone apple tree, this crab apple tree, this thing is starting to irritate me. It's doing the same thing it did last year. It's making these little bitty apples on here, or whatever their little things are, and it's not making any big apples. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this thing. If you got any advice on my crab apple tree, please let me know. It's not because it doesn't have a variety of apples to pollinate with. I thought that was the case, but my neighbor right across the street over there, she's got 4 different varieties of apples, so couldn't, and she's got 2 varieties of crabapple trees over there, so can't be that. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this. It's been a concern of mine, and it may just end up being a tree that's just beautiful in the front yard without ever producing anything, which I'm okay with. I usually don't like to grow things that are just there, but I grow flowers that are pretty, and this thing gives a good barrier along the line here. All right, come on around here. This is a peach tree. This is a Cresthaven peach. You know, looking forward to seeing what that guy will do. And then my Aerosa plum, looking more like a peach tree to me, not like a plum tree. These are peach leaves, looks like. I've never seen plums with long skinny leaves like that. So this is probably the plum part right here, but the peach is taking over. So I think I got a bum deal from that. I got this from a different nursery that I've never bought from before, and when I got out there, the fruit trees were pretty much picked over. So I got what I got, and I guess we'll just deal with it. All right, on Beth's tea garden, got marigolds here. I've got some, I think this is bee balm on this side, maybe lemon balm. I always have to have her out here to tell me. I've got some thyme here. This is chocolate basil. Yep. Got my rosemary back there. This is a sage, pineapple sage. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm getting better at this. And then she cut the lavender down, and she's processing it right now. Also the chamomile, she cut chamomile, and it doesn't look like it's returning back. I thought it was supposed to cut and return back, but I guess, I don't know, this is the first year we've grown these apothecary type things in tea garden stuff, so we're still learning. So don't let this be a learning video. This is just showing you around what's going on at this point in the first week in July. You know, how things are looking in the tea garden. And this is a lemon balm. So that's lemon balm, and then my sunflowers looking, you know, nice and majestic here, standing in the middle of the tea garden, looking nice. All right, let me take you over here to the ground garden, show you what we got going over there. It's looking a little bit scary. If you remember, this is where all my squash and zucchini were. Well, we had to pull them all out because the squash bugs decimated it, but we got a pretty good harvest. My catnip is in need of some water. That thing's a water monster. I've watered this and watered this and watered this, and it's still asking for more water. So that's a water-hungry herb right there. But I'm going to do something with this. I need to get in here and get at this grass before it gets out of hand. I get in here with the hoop hoe and get all this guy out. And then our butternut squash were back here, but they all ran their course and died. I'm not sure what's going on with the butternut squash over here. We replanted it in the garden over by the deck. So we're going to see. Last year they grew pretty well there, so we're going to see if it continues to be the case. We're trying to get us some butternut squash this year. My beans are looking awesome. We thought they were done, but I noticed they started flowering out again, so we left them in here, and we're going to have another batch of beans to pick before we have to take these guys out. But we've already replanted beans. We did that early, about 2 weeks ago, I guess. We replanted beans so we could continue to get a continual harvest of these Blue Lake bush beans. My peppers are looking fantastic. I picked a whole bunch of them yesterday, and there's still a ton on here. So we got bell peppers in the front. We got 3 bell pepper plants here. And then in the back, there's another bell pepper there and there. So these are, and then that guy, I finally figured out what was going on with this guy. This was an accident. It was not supposed to be here. And so I've got a ancho chili in my sweet pepper garden, and over there I've got a sweet pepper in my ancho chili garden. When we did the tray, we got them mixed up. So hopefully this guy doesn't make all my sweet peppers hot. I've heard various rumors and read various reviews on that, and some people say it will, some people say it requires more than that, but I guess we'll see as time goes on. But you can see how great these Carmen peppers produce. I mean, they are insane production. And if you look right there on the ground, that was a volunteer potato plant that grew up, and it's starting to die back. So I'm probably going to dig that guy up today and show you what we get out of that one. That was completely volunteer. I didn't plant that. So we'll see what kind of potatoes we get out of that mixture. My basil's starting to come back. Beth cut it back the other day to dry some up, and it's looking awesome. My pepper garden is just looking fantastic, and Gizmo's trying to say hello. So, hey Gizmo. Yeah, everybody's saying hello to you too. All right, can I finish the video? All right, thank you. My bees are doing awesome. They're just getting started on their day. And my other bees, everybody's doing great. I opened the hives up the other day to take a look, and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. This guy was right here. They had started drawing out the frames on either side of the nook. So they're doing what they're supposed to do. And then these guys are, the queen in there is making eggs and doing her thing. So they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And actually, and these guys here, these guys are rocking on too. I didn't open this one up the other day because I had done an inspection on this one previously. And you don't want to go into your hives too frequently, because it will cause your bees to, for lack of a better word, they get annoyed. And if you start opening them up and closing them, the bees are pretty smart. And if they figure out that there's somebody who's coming in and terrorizing them, then they're going to swarm on you. They'll leave. Go find someplace else. So don't do too many inspections on your bees, because you can perpetuate a swarm. I read that on an article because I've been doing some swarm research, trying to figure out why my bees swarm every year. That's not one of the reasons why for me. I don't open up my hives very often. I don't check on them, particularly during this time of the year. I check on them, established hives maybe once, and then I let it go throughout the season, and then I'll check it again when I get ready to get a honey harvest in the fall. Now, I didn't get a honey harvest in the spring because obviously, you know, my bees had swarmed. So, all right, so up here, that's what we got going on with the potato buckets. All right, so this one and this one are still good. This one's starting to die back. This one's starting to die back, but I've got some good growth, new growth still on it. This one is done, so it's going to get emptied out, and we'll see what comes out of that. I'll put that towards the end of the video when we dump our potato buckets and take a look and see what's going on. This one and this one still have good growth on them. This one, however, is done. And this one is about 50-50, but it's still got new growth coming through it, so it's not done cooking yet either. Sweet potatoes are looking fantastic. We got a sweet potato in each one of these buckets here. Trying to see if we can grow sweet potatoes in a bucket. This was a experiment. I don't know how it's going to come out. But if it comes out really well, it may be the way we grow sweet potatoes too, because I've had tremendous harvest from these potato buckets. And I've been seeing people pulling up potatoes from their ground garden and complaining that they weren't as much as they thought it were going to be. Well, who knows why that could be? I don't know. I'm not a potato aficionado by any stretch. But I know that I always have I've only had 1 year where I had a pitiful harvest, and that was because we had a ton of rain. I mean, a ton of rain. We had rain. It rains, I think it was during the springtime, and even into the summer, it rained about 3 days a week for about 4 or 5 weeks straight. I mean, it was insane. And the potatoes couldn't drain fast enough, and they just got swamped and turned them into a big mush. All the potatoes rotted. It was nasty. So that's the only one I've ever had that just completely was a pitiful sight. All right, let me continue on back here in the back, run you through all these things right quick, because let you see the growth on these. All right, so these are our hot peppers back here. These are, clicking along. Peppers are really happy right now. But I want to show you this. Beth put a purple hull pea in this little pot here, and bammo. Got 2 little beans came out. That is hilarious. I bought her some basil yesterday because we don't have any sweet basil on the property. So I thought, well, on our farm we need some sweet basil because we use it to cook with. And I made a pepperoni studded lasagna the other day, and I wanted to have some fresh basil, and I didn't have it. I was kind of upset, but it is what it is. All right, my tomatoes, like I said, are ridiculously growing. This right here is a volunteer tomato. None of these in this whole entire garden got planted this year. These were all volunteers. I didn't plant any tomatoes in this spot. And you can see how awesome they're doing up inside of my cucumbers here. Just rocking on. My cucumbers, these are called muncher cucumbers. All right, these are they're an eating style cucumber, but we have used them for pickles because the skin's not real heavy, and it's not a tart skin at all. So they actually make great slice pickles. Obviously, they're too long for the for a whole pickle type thing. I mean, you have one pickle in a jar, and they don't produce as prolifically as some of the other pickle varieties I've had. So the jury's still out on these, whether I'm going to grow them again. Not really sure. I've seen some other varieties that some of my other homesteaders that we follow on YouTube have planted this year, and we may try maybe 1 or 2 more of them next year. I actually replanted some pickling cucumbers over in the bean box. I'll show you that in just a minute. But you can see, I mean, our tomatoes back here, these actually, all of these were all volunteers. Everything in this box, tomato-wise, was all volunteer. And we've gotten a pretty decent harvest off the cherry tomatoes already. My plum tomatoes, or my paste tomatoes, they're doing pretty good. They're coming along. Volunteer, once again. Everything in here, and it's weird how usually when you have volunteer gardens, they're all the same variety. I just thought it was amazing that we have some cherry tomatoes in here. We've got some slicing tomatoes in here, and we've got some paste tomatoes, all in the same box, completely volunteered. I thought that was pretty amazing. So, wanted to show you that. My habaneros are coming along nicely. Got some peppers down in here. Looking at that. Beautiful. Jalapenos are looking good. Coming along. Both these guys. My jalapenos looking awesome. My anchos are starting to produce. So everybody's starting to give us a harvest here. Everybody's getting prepared. Here's my cucumbers I was talking about. So these are pickling cucumbers. I put them up here in front of this purple hull pea box. Purple hull peas just are not doing very good in this box, and I think I have a theory of why. I think the dirt in here, because there's only about 4 inches of dirt in here, I think it just didn't have enough dirt to get a good root base. So next year I'm going to repair this bed, and I'm going to make it a little taller and put more dirt in it so we can actually get a harvest out of that. All right, come on this side of my peppers. I've got more ancho chilies. I have a lot of ancho chilies because I make my own chili powder. And we use a lot of chili powder for various different things. And then down here on the end, these are my Tabasco peppers. And they're getting nice and tall, and it's going to bush out, and they're going to make a ton of Tabasco peppers so I can make some more sauce. It's going to be awesome, awesome, awesome sauce. All right, tomato-wise. Tomatoes are coming in hot and heavy. We have had to harvest tomatoes every single day in big buckets of tomatoes. All right, so you can see they're getting kind of a rosy color in here. That one probably is about ready to go. Oh, I knew it. See, this is one thing. See, I've got bottom end rot. All right, so this is a problem. When your tomatoes don't have enough calcium, they will do this. And even when you've given them calcium, if you look, this is the only one that did it. The rest of them are just fine. But this particular one, I don't know why it end rotted. Who knows? It's not because they didn't have calcium, because I have treated this for extra calcium this year, and everybody else is looking good. Just this one. So I'll chuck that to the chickens, and we'll keep on going. All right, around to this side. I've got a watermelon right here. There's another little guy right there, and there's a couple more smaller ones in here. This is my black bean patch, and I don't know what's going on with the black beans because they have plenty of dirt to grow in. They just aren't growing in this raised bed for some reason, and I'm not sure why. And it doesn't have anything to do with the watermelons, because the beans were way ahead of the watermelons. So not sure what's going on with this. I really don't. I hope having the sunflowers here not blocking out too much sun, possibly. That's what I had thought about. They're blocking too much sun on this side, and because of all the stuff on the other side, it's not getting enough sun for the beans, because beans need a lot of sunshine. Sunflowers are still looking spectacular. I took some pictures yesterday. I was standing in the kitchen looking out the window, and these little yellow finches came flying in here and landed on the sunflower. So I hustled out here with my phone and took some pictures of them. So I'll put them on the intro for this. That butterfly. Look at that, beautiful. Scared it off. Beautiful. All right, over here, my Chinese noodle beans are just kicking. I mean, this is crazy. Look how long this bean is. Look at this. Can't even get it all on the picture. It's probably what, almost 2 feet. These things are ridiculous, and they are absolutely delicious. Let me tell you. We had some the other day in Beth made a fried rice, and she put some in there, and them things were so good. So I'm just going to try and cook them like a green bean here and see how they taste. I'm so impressed with these Chinese noodle beans. These things they're just, rocking. And you eat the whole thing just like you do a green bean, so you don't have to pick them. You don't have to peel them. All right, over here, some more cherry tomatoes. Everything on this side of the house has been planted. Everything in these raised beds has been planted. All right, so I've got some paste tomatoes laid up in here that I put in. They were late to the party, so I'm not sure how they're going to do. These are Amish paste tomatoes. I'm not sure how they're going to do. I'm hoping that they're going to catch up. This plant looks like it has done its job, but the other ones are kind of, I don't know. Jury's still out on that one. My loofah is growing like mad. And Jess on Roots and Refuge was talking about this the other day about, I've tried to put these in, guide them around, but it's a futile effort. The loofahs are going to grow how the loofahs want to grow, and they have just gone wild. So I'm just letting it do its thing. Letting it see what's going on here. Kill me a squash bug in the process while I'm looking at this. But they are looking awesome. See, there's another vines and then come down here. So if I train this back over here this way, by the end of the day, it'll be into my, it'll be growed up over the plant. Look, I got a loofah growing in the middle of my sunflower here. This is awesome. All my cantaloupes, except for that one, finished, and Beth harvested them the other day, and she cut them up, and they were so sweet and delicious. I love it, love it, love it. Love growing stuff on the homestead and being able to eat it. She replanted some Blue Lake bush beans here, and they've all come up. These things came up really fast. She planted a seed, and about 3 days later came back and it had already started to pop up. So if you want something that'll pop up quick, say you're trying to get your kids into gardening, this would be a good start. All right, we got Amish paste here. There's some more Amish paste tomatoes there. Right here, I actually harvested some of these. I'll show you my harvest in a minute. I got a ton yesterday, and I've already put up a whole bunch already. I've got them all in the freezer right now, getting ready to peel. Look at this guy. It's almost ready to pick. I'll probably pick that one because we're expecting some rain today, and I don't want my tomatoes to split. All right, my pink bumblebees over here. These are looking awesome, and these things are really delicious. I've been plucking them off the thing and eating them out here for a little snack while I'm working out here. So awesome, awesome. Then I've got my slicing tomatoes. I'm calling them slicing tomatoes. I'm not sure of the variety of these. I cannot remember what they were when I put them in, but I will definitely figure it out and let you know. So, but I tried some of them yesterday too, and they were just delicious. And these down on this end, these are white tomatoes, and they're white tomatoes, and they are actually white when they're done. So they'll look like this right here. They'll be white with a little bit of yellow shoulder on them. And then this guy is just pumping out tomatoes like crazy. I mean, I come out here and pick 3 or 4 pounds of tomatoes every single day. It's insane. How good this one plant produces versus, if I had a whole bunch of these, I can't imagine the tomatoes I have. But I'm going to have a ton. Don't get me wrong. I am very grateful for what I have. And these guys right here, these big guys, this one definitely needs to be picked because it's starting to get a little crack on it right there, right on the top, and definitely need to get it pulled out. That one looks like it's about ready to pick too. So I got to get out here and pick some tomatoes here in just a bit, but I wanted to show you what's going on here in the tomato garden. Welcome to the jungle. All right. Well, let me roll you inside and show you what we got going on in there. Oh, before I go there, what I was going to tell you, this is all volunteers as well. Every single tomato over here, all volunteer. This was our volunteer bed. This is where Beth has gone and replanted butternut squash in as well. It grew really well in here last year when we had the volunteer garden here. It actually volunteered out of here, so we're going to see by planting some in there what can happen. And then over here, I forgot to show you, she planted tomatillos in our beet box where we had the beet in here, and you can see they're already coming up. Got tomatillos, so I'm gonna make me some salsa verde when those get up and ripe. All right, so let me get you inside the house and show you what we got going on in there. And this is my table of harvest. And it looked a lot worse than this before I put up some tomatoes the other day. I mean, it was covered, and I have a feeling that the tomatoes are going to beat us to the punch, and we're probably going to have a table full of tomatoes here in the very near future. My eggs are coming along nicely. Got a new set of 7 back there cooking.
Did you show them the 3?
And I'll go out there and show you the 3 that hatched last week. I was trying to shoot a video of them hatching, and the battery on my camera did not cooperate. So, all right, let me take you outside and show you my baby chickens. And update you on the baby ducks too, because I haven't given an update on the baby ducks. All right, let's go in here to the pen and look here. Got my 3 little chickies. These are the last 3 of the ones we hatched here on the homestead. And I'm guessing they're some type of a copper Moran, cross. I've got the only rooster I have out there is a copper Moran. So it's going to be some mixture between a Rhode Island Red and a copper Moran and a Isa Brown and a Bar Rock and a copper Moran. So, but they're cute little guys. I got 1 rooster and 2 hens. So that was good. Now I get 2 more laying chickens, and 1 more chicken that I'll have for meat. Already got more roosters than I can handle right here already. All right, let's roll you over here. Show you our baby ducks and our lone chicken. Call him Chuck because he's in with the ducks, and he's a rooster, so I can call him Chuck. You can see him right there. This is what they do all day. They just walk back and forth on this fence. I got them a little swimming pool in there for them to do their deal, and they're growing up and getting on into duckdom. And you see the chicken walks right along with them. I don't know if they think they're a chicken or he thinks that he's a duck. I've never seen him get in the pool yet, so I don't know what he's which one's which, or maybe he's just walking along with them. So that's gonna be interesting. That's a rooster. He is also one of those crossed chickens. He's between, I'm looking at his colors, he's probably one of the crosses between the copper Moran and the Rhode Island Red, just from his colors. But I wanted to show you that. And all my chickens are here in the shade, starting to get warm. So that's why I need to cut this short too, because I got to get inside the house and get dried off. I got to go teach a lesson here in a minute. All right. I'll be back with you in a bit. Alright, well, the battery died again. This is the second time it's happened. So, I may need to get a new camera, because these batteries are starting to irritate me. But anyway, I just want to thank y'all for watching and following us along with these garden walks. They really we document it so we can see what's going on and plan our next year. But I hope you guys are enjoying this, and if you are, give us a like. And also, if you would share our videos, it would help a lot, so we can see if we can get some more content additions and help with subscriptions. If you have not subscribed yet, would please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you can see when we put new videos up. But remember, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. God bless y'all. Love you.